All right. 14A District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now in session. All those having business before the court draw near, the Honorable Judge Cedric.
You may be seated. Ms. Lonnie.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ashley Lonnie for the people. At this time, the people would waive any conflict between this honorable court and the Office of the Public Defender. People do not believe that any conflict exists. We need to waive it for the avoidance of all doubt.
Thank you.
This is the Public Defender's Office. Likewise, Your Honor, we do not believe a conflict exists between this honorable court and our office. But if one were to work for a ride, we would waive such a conflict.
Thank you. This court also does not believe there's a conflict either the Michigan court rules or the cases decided there are. To the extent conflict does exist, given the waivers, the court will consent to hear the matters. Court does call the case of the People versus Elizabeth Wilson.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Michael Kelly, P77187, on behalf of Ms. Wilson, who's present to my right. Your Honor, today's date.
Can you state your name, please?
Elizabeth Wilson.
Thank you.
Today's date and time set for pretrial in this matter. At this time, I will be asking the court to schedule this for a final settlement conference.
6 and 9.
Yes.
Jury final settlement conference, June 6, 2025, 9 a.m. Jury selection, if necessary, June 9th, 2025, 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Court calls the case People versus Daniel Bowe.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Bowe, who should be dialed in, Your Honor. Mr. Bowe, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
I only have one dial in, right?
Yes. 303.
Is that the number?
I believe that is him, Your Honor. He did text me this morning that he had dialed into the Zoom hearing.
Mr. Bowe, if you can hit *6, that will unmute you.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Daniel Bowe.
What's your name? Thank you.
Daniel Bowe.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're respectfully requesting adjournment. Mr. Bowe has a Secretary of State appointment scheduled for next week. He believes he's on his way to getting his license valid. We're asking for an adjournment so he can have that appointment for that to happen.
Any objection from the people?
No objection.
Adjourn the matter to
May 21st.
May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. On continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Bowe. You're all set for today.
All right, thank you.
People versus Ahmad Kahala.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Ready, Your Honor. Joe Simon on behalf of Mr. Kahala. Your Honor, there's a co-defendant that Mr. Guerin represents. Do you want to call them successfully or together?
I really don't want you and Guerin up here at the same time.
That's a good point.
I mean, that's really what my issue was.
It's a fair point.
What are we?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Gonna...
Excuse this. I would just want to clarify. This is Deborah Ford. Is this Isa Mohad Awad or a different case?
Say again.
Is this Isa Mohad Awad?
Nope.
All right. I'm sorry. I don't want to make an error.
Oh, we already have. All right.
There both will be there will be pleas in both cases.
Because I'm not listening to Simon this morning. Mr. Guerin, what would be your preference? Oh, thank you. See, he knows how to act. I'll just take it one at a time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
There's an offer in this case to exceed its charges, prosecutors defer.
All right.
That is true, Your Honor, but it would be a no contest plea. Mr. Guerin forwarded the court by email a copy of the police report.
And I have reviewed it, so. Prosecutor's deferred. May I have him sworn, please?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name.
Ahmed Kahla.
Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading no contest to the charge of assault and or assault battery. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Two things about it I have to make sure that you understand. First of all, it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
I should also advise you that this is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court cost. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
The basis for no contest plea.
Schedule civil liability, Your Honor.
Sir, to this charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
You understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You signed an advice of rights form, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any question regarding those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Please look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today to get you to plead?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, Your Honor.
Doing this voluntarily?
I'm sorry.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, Your Honor.
and of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court has been provided and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 2421-202. Any objection to the court having reviewed the report?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court?
People are satisfied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to this charge. Is what? 23rd. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report and determination of prosecutors deferred. Sentencing in this matter will be
May 14th.
May 14th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Fine, we'll continue.
Conference room. Okay.
Or does call the case People versus Najee Kahala.
Special line for people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dan Garrett on behalf of Najee Kahala, who's standing to my right. Najee, can you identify yourself?
Najee Kahla.
All right.
Your Honor, we're at the point for pre-trial. There's not for this case. Please start with the prosecutor's report.
That's correct, Your Honor. My client has filled twice. Thank you.
May I have him sworn?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name.
Najee Kahla.
Sir, it is this court's understanding you're going to plead no contest to the charge of assault and or assault and battery. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Two things about it I have to make sure you understand. The first thing is it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Basis is no contest plea.
Civil liability, Your Honor.
May I have him sworn?
Yeah.
I did. Oh, you're right. So, sir, to that charge, how do you plead?
No contest, Your Honor.
All right. You understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
Oh, Your Honor.
All right. Look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal all right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
Oh, Your Honor.
Anybody promise you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, Your Honor.
and of your own free will.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court likewise in the previous case has been handed and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 2421-202. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
People satisfied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to this charge. Defendant is referred to probation for pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing will be May 14, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Lisa Keebler.
Actually, one for the people.
Morning, Your Honor, John Bagman, and on behalf of Ms. Keebler. Madam, and Ms. Lundy and I approached
Yes.
briefly.
Okay, we're back on the record in the case of the People versus Keebler. Record should reflect the bench conference in this case. And so I'll just say it for the record. I do know Ms. Keebler. I've known her for a period of time. Haven't seen her. I don't know how long. It's been ages. I explained that to counsel. I had made the decision that I would not recuse unless requested to do so. And I think everybody knows I'm going to handle it just like I handle any other case. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's the way that I roll. Thought I'd place that on.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Ms. Keebler has not been arraigned yet.
Yes.
I would acknowledge to the court that we've received a copy of the complaint. And we waive its formal reading, and Ms. Keebler stands mute at this time.
But in having way forward readings, the court will enter a not guilty plea on her behalf. What do we wish to do with the case today before I sit down?
Your Honor, I am awaiting some recordings. Ms. Lundy is facilitating getting those to me. I'd ask for a number of them. I'd ask for a 4-week adjournment.
All right. What's the next day? I got a May 20th. Adjourn the matter to May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. As to bond in this case.
Your Honor, as to bond in this case, I misspoke at the bench. The alleged BAC in this case is 0.194. I said 174. I apologize.
Okay, no, that's fine. 194.
There was also a lab result showing the presence of cocaine. This is a single vehicle incident where the vehicle either crashed or got stuck. And the defendant does have a prior from 2014 of high BAC. People are requesting a scram tether as well as twice a week testing.
Mr. Shea.
Your Honor, we understand the request for alcohol monitoring. We'd request a sober link rather than a scram, and no objection at this time to the testing. And assuming that Ms. Keebler does returns results on those as I anticipate at some point, we'll be asking the court to modify that.
Yeah. Set the defendant's bond at a $20,000 personal recognizance bond. All other standard conditions, including no assault behavior or possession of any weapons or ammunition. There's to be no use of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. I will indicate also that she is to report over to community corrections for placement on the SoberLink testing device, as well as I'm going to order random drug testing 2 times per week.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it. See you in a month.
Let's call the case. People versus Michael Klustra.
Special money for the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Uwe Dowsmith on behalf of Mr. Klustra. Might please state your name for the record. Michael Klustra. Here for the adjourn pre-trial. I think we're in communication.
Sure. Okay, record should reflect that there's been a bench conference. I will adjourn this matter to May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. Wow. How was Ohio?
It was good. It was productive. I caught some walleye. Good memory.
You don't like the Michigan ones.
Well, I stand in a river that goes into Lake Erie, so I don't have a boat to go to Detroit River. Thank you for allowing me to go there.
Not a problem. Okay, but it worked out for you.
It did.
Okay. All right.
Very good, thank you.
On continue. Court calls case, People versus Aaron Salazar.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Morning, Your Honor. David Shan on behalf of Aaron Salazar was approaching. Please.
My name is Aaron Salazar.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, Ms. Londi would like to have Aaron on the sober link for another 30 days to see how he continues to do. He's doing well right now. And then we have a potential plea on that matter, but a 30-day adjournment to continue him on the sober link and see if he continues to do what he's doing so far.
I'll adjourn the matter May 21st, 2025.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls case, People versus Ronald Altman.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Don Smith on behalf of Mr. Altman, who's approaching the podium. P65339.
Yeah, in this case, I have
Can you
spoken
state your name? Thank you. All right.
we have spoken with defense counsel in this case. We have some different things going on. I believe ultimately there will be a request to adjourn and see if we can work something out. And may end up going to the final settlement docket in June, but right now I think that's where we're going. It's an adjournment of today's briefing.
I agree. Yeah, I hear you using the date of May 21st.
It's only because they gave it to me.
Oh.
No, go
I
ahead.
have a trial that morning. I am the prosecutor for all child protective proceedings in St. Joseph County, and we have a trial that morning, just the morning. I don't know if you do any of these in the afternoons at all.
Like a prosecutor. I don't know. I don't know if I like. Do I like it? Do we like St. Joseph County? We do?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. All right, let's see if we can find you another date.
I don't know if you do them sooner than a month. I don't know.
I don't. My schedule gets weird only because of a judicial conference that we lose a day. That's why normally we would be about 2 weeks out.
Oh.
I can go to June 4th. But if that works,
That's great.
will that work for you?
Yeah.
But one thing that Ms. Londi indicated is that it may go to the final settlement conference. If it goes to June 4th, the next final settlement conference is 2 days later on June 6th, and then jury selection on the 9th. Otherwise, what happens if jury selection won't happen until August?
Okay, I guess we'll play it by ear.
Okay, all right. Just wanted you to be aware of that so nobody was surprised. So June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. Thank you, sir.
Do we wait for notices now, or do they send those?
They should be sending notices and council approach. How you doing? Yeah, it is. I think you're right. All right. So we'll go June 4th, 9 a.m. and bond will continue in this case.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sure. And could you make sure he has that? Council has that. Case People versus Sarah Orr.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Carolyn Foster Tucker on behalf of Sarah Orr. Please state your name. Sarah Orr, Your Honor.
Yeah, there is an offer in this case to plead to an added count. I don't think that it would be added count of failure to report $1,000 accident, the 90-day, $100 fine, 0-point offense. I don't think that the defendant is ready to accept or reject that to date, and there's some ongoing conversations between counsel, but that also will remain open until our next date.
All right,
That is correct. We're just requesting an adjournment.
all right. May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. On continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case People versus, is it Diarrhea PM?
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
We're on. Who's counsel?
Oh, I saw him this morning.
Was he in?
So,
He was physically in the courtroom. Where was his client here? Oh, okay. I thought I saw him. Court does call the case of the People versus Zachary Burlett.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Burlett, who is present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Zachary Thomas Burlett.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe the people and we are very close to a resolution in this case. I have discussed this matter both with them and my client. To that end, we're respectfully requesting an adjournment to tie up a couple of loose ends. I would ask for some time in late May.
She's been sitting in the courtroom. You heard me explain my calendar. And then she's gonna ask like she's clairvoyant. May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll be in touch.
All right. Thank you, Natalie.
Court calls case People versus Nicole Caldwell.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Caldwell, who should be present via Zoom. Ms. Caldwell, can you please unmute, turn on your camera and state your name for the court?
Nicole Caldwell.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor. We wish to set this case for final settlement conference.
Jury final settlement conference will be June 6, 2025, 9 a.m. Jury selection if necessary, June 9th, 2025 at 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person. Bond will continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Caldwell.
Court calls case People versus Rebecca Dilworth.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
On behalf of the defendant. Please introduce yourself to the court.
Rebecca Dilworth.
Your Honor, just an offer said to the defendant that he's getting some time to work on some of the conditions of, so I believe defense counsel will be requesting an adjournment for work on those things.
That's correct. Probably about a month.
Yes.
About a month if the court can accommodate.
May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continue.
Thank you, Judge.
Court calls case People versus Natasha. Is it almost?
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Howard, on behalf of Ms. Olmos. Please introduce yourself to the judge.
Hi, I'm Natasha. Morning.
Good morning. And what's your last name?
Almost.
Thank you. So, Your Honor, I've talked with Ms. Olmos. I've spoken with the prosecutor. Ms. Olmos is interested in participating in sobriety court. And so we are asking for an adjournment to get her screened and to get that process going.
That's correct. The office will plead guilty to count 1, operating while intoxicated occupant less than 16 or a no contest plea, and disposing of being child abuse with entering into sobriety.
All right. Adjourned matter May 21st, 2025. 9 a.m.
And Your Honor, if we may be heard as to bond.
Yes.
So Ms. Olmos is currently on a scram tether. That's getting to be quite costly for her. She is a mother, a recently single mother. We're not asking that she be off tracking entirely. We're asking that be converted to a SoberLink device to give her a little help with the cost.
Response from people. Well,
Looks like to me.
I'm not gonna do that, and I'm gonna indicate why. I'm gonna leave it on at least for another month. I'll certainly hear from the people, but I'm not changing it because of the not only the final result, but the PBT was substantial. So, I mean, usually people don't start out on a scram with me, but I think there were circumstances here that led me to that conclusion.
Understood.
But certainly in May, raise that issue and take another look at it.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls case People versus Issa Awad.
That's line for people.
Deborah Geraldine Bledsoe Ford on behalf of Issa Ahmad.
Good morning, Ms. Ford. Sir, can you state your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Ms. Ford. All right. As to the arraignment in this case.
Your Honor, I'd ask that this be set for, sorry. My client pleads not guilty.
Been in every way from a reading, pleading not guilty to the charge. Court will enter that. Plea. Would you like an adjournment of the pretrial, Ms. Ford?
Yes, please.
I'll adjourn pretrial in this matter to May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
May I come in on Zoom on that day, please?
If you fill out the form, and then I don't have a problem with that.
Thank you. Guess what? My daughter's graduating from law school. That's where I'm going to be in California. But I will fill out the form properly and appear on Zoom.
All right.
Thank you.
Another lawyer? Oh, joy. All right. Oh, hold on one moment. Let me set bond in this case. I'll set bond in the amount of a $10,000 personal recognizance bond. I'll order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of any weapons or ammunition. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no use of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. I am also going to order no contact with Casey Todd. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because of, I'm also going to order no possession of any animals.
Yes, Your Honor.
We do have one additional request.
Yes, go ahead.
Can we have a no-go to Blue Pearl Vet?
Okay.
Yep.
Blue Pearl.
Yeah, Blue Pearl Veterinary, I should say, not just vet.
Okay, I'm going to order all of their locations in Michigan.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Because we just happen to have one here, but I think there are others.
I agree, Your Honor. There's a few different ones.
All right. I think that's it. We'll see everybody on the 21st. Ms. Ford, congratulations to you and your family.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye. Court calls the case, People versus Jazan Brooks.
That's the one for the people.
They're not here.
Sounds like she's yelling for people out of the hallway.
Okay, that's not a good thing to say out loud, Miss Perry.
She's here.
Who's here? Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Jazan Brooks.
Brooks, you are here on a misdemeanor complaint that alleges that on or about March 22nd, 2025, location of 3470 Carpenter Road, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you did commit the offense of malicious destruction of a building, $200 or more, but less than $1,000 worth of damage. You understand the nature of that charge, sir?
Yes.
All right. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and $2,000 fine plus court costs. The fine could be increased if 3 times the value of the property, that is the destruction to the property, 3 times the value of that is greater than $2,000. That becomes the maximum fine. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. First question I have for you is, do you want to be represented by an attorney?
Yes.
The public defender.
Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Brooks.
Yeah.
Your Honor, we will waive any further reading, stand mute to the charges, and ask for another pretrial date.
Defendant having waived formal reading, pleading, standing mute, pleading not guilty, court will enter that not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. As to bond in this case.
Your Honor, people are not requesting any monetary amount of bond, but are requesting a no go to that address on Carpenter Road, specifically 3470 Carpenter Road, 4197. I think that's Pittsfield Township, but an Ipsy mailing. It's more commonly known as American House Senior Living Facility.
Okay.
But you're asking at this time besides standard conditions.
Said is bonded at $5,000 personal recognizance bond on lower standard conditions, including no assault behavior or possession of any weapons. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. You understand that?
Yes.
I'm going to indicate that you are not to go to the 3470 Carpenter Road address. You understand that?
Yes.
That's it. All right. See you next month. Or does recall the case, People versus Lisa Keeble.
People.
John Shea, Your Honor, again, showing my age because I forgot to raise something on the record. Which is, and I disclose this to the bench judge, Mr. and Ms. Keebler have a trip to Florida planned, leaving May 1, returning May 10. And we're asking leave of the court to both leave the state for that and to suspend random testing during that period.
And I have no objection here as long as the defendant remains compliant with the alcohol testing device that she would take with her.
Yes.
All right. So I'll indicate defendant may travel to Florida. That was the first of the 10?
Yes.
No, that includes all the travel days. So
It does. Leaving the first, back on the 10th.
May 1st, to May 10th, 2025. And testing is suspended during that time.
Great.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Court has called the case People versus the M. Recall.
Good morning, Your Honor. Paul Tefelsky, P52844 on behalf of Ms. Thiam.
Good morning. My name is Jared.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, we have reached a resolution in this case. The defendant is going to be pleading to an admin chief of just serving the piece, and I can say this with your $500 fine contrary to MCL 750170 in exchange for a plea that admin township will be dismissed, maybe count 3 action. It is now to count 3, Your Honor, and counts 1 and 2. Excuse me.
That's what I would have. Got a quick statement, counsel?
Your Honor.
All right, very good. May I have her sworn?
Right hand. Do you solemnly swear in the affirmative testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name.
Jared.
All right. Ma'am, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of disturbing the peace.
Yes.
That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Okay.
Still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
To that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You signed an advice of rights form today, is that correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding those rights?
No.
Look at paragraph 5, you'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that. You understand you're giving up those rights?
No. I mean, yes.
You understand you're giving up those rights that you just read?
Yes.
As well as all the rights on that?
Yes.
All right. You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes.
Then I can explain it if you need me to.
Yes, please.
Explain it? Okay. If you don't like the fact after this, that the conviction, that you have a conviction or the sentence, you can't appeal just automatically.
Okay.
You would have to ask permission of the higher court to appeal and to hear any complaint you have.
Okay.
You understand that?
I do.
All right. Are you on probation or parole?
Right now I'm on counseling. I'm taking counseling.
Okay, but are you under the jurisdiction of any other court?
Yes. Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Okay. You understand that if you are on probation to another court, that this plea could be a violation of that probation.
Okay.
Okay, and if that court does consider this to be a violation, that court could sentence you to the maximum allowable under that other charges. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Understanding that, do you still wish to plead to this charge?
Yes.
All right. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No.
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes.
All right. And also because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. July 18, 2020, location of 771 Airport Boulevard, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan. What did you do at the Costco that makes you think that you're guilty?
I opened just a case of crab legs. Cause disturbance.
Okay, so you opened a case of crab legs?
Yes.
Okay. And so that was in the store?
Yes.
And that you would admit is someplace that is public,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And so when you did that, and I imagine people from Costco's came over.
Yeah.
Okay. And that caused a disturbance.
Yes.
And disturbed the peace and repose in Costco at that time. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
All right. Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 3. Counts 1 and 2 are dismissed.
There is an issue of restitution, Your Honor.
There is?
There is.
Okay.
Fortunately, Costco did not resell the crab legs once they had been opened, so they had to be disposed of.
You still had the shell on them? I'm just saying, as a Maryland guy,
I would have eaten them too,
you
Your Honor.
threw them in some water with Old Bay and never mind. Just me. All right. What I will do is defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing will be May 14th, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. Ma'am, you can stop at probation on your way down the hallway, okay?
Okay.
They'll be on your left-hand side as you're headed out.
Oh, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate the fact counsel said I would have eaten them too. So I didn't look like it was just me. All right. Okay. We'll get set up for our next block. I'll stand in recess.
All right.
That work? See, it's not where it's like yeah, there's a lot of fire. Okay. Well, this person's gonna do. Thank you. You're welcome. What is your phone number? 734.
All right. TNA District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. The office of Judge Cedric Simpson presides.
Be seated. Court does call the case, People versus Jermaine Nathan. 3 cases.
National Money for the People.
Senator Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Nathan. Mr. Nathan, can you state your name for the record, please?
Jermaine Nathan.
Your Honor, I think that Ms. Pate and Mr. Nathan were unable to speak prior to today's court date. If I may, I just want to confirm, Mr. Nathan, does your phone number end in 2014?
Yes.
Okay. Well, regardless, Your Honor, it seems like they weren't able to touch base. I'd ask for an adjournment for all of these cases. Mr. Nathan, the reason I'm asking for that is that you and your attorney can speak and then try to resolve the files together.
Okay.
May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. or your invite indicates. On these will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the cases of People versus Byron Blair.
For the People.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Blair, who is approaching the podium. State your name for the record, sir.
Byron James Blair. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people did make an offer this morning that would resolve both of these cases, which I was able to briefly discuss with my client. To that end, I'm asking for a brief adjournment so I can further discuss it with him. Further, Mr. Blair is being held on a felony matter that is scheduled for PCC tomorrow in front of Your Honor. So I can see what happens with both the felony case as well as to have a deeper discussion with my client regarding the offer. I'd request an adjournment into May.
May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll be down to see you.
Calls the cases of the People versus Frederick Warden.
Senator Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
National Money for the People.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Warden. Mr. Warden, please state your name for the record.
Frederick James Worden II.
Your Honor, thank you. We have resolutions on both files.
Is this a no contest plea?
Yes.
All right, counsel, you guys are gonna have to get these reports to us faster, because I mean, I'm doing my best to try to keep up with them, but I can't. I'm reading some during the break and I'm doing that. I can't do it that way.
I understand.
They need to be in a whole lot earlier than they are now so I can go through them. Go ahead.
Well, we have resolutions on both. I'm happy to handle whichever first that Your Honor wants to handle.
Whatever go ahead.
On the 2011 case, the driving suspended license case, Mr. Warden is going to be admitting to double parking.
That's correct, Your Honor. So in the Pittsfield Township case, I had to add double parking to count 2. If you accept the admission, move to dismiss the original charge.
All right, let's take care of that then. Mr. Warden, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on or about August 19, 2011, at the location of West Michigan Avenue near Plum Hollow in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that you double parked a motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed, and that's in case for the record 1300, ending in 1300. Fines and cost of $180. When can you get that paid, sir?
Possibly today or tomorrow.
Okay. Pay it by the 28th, this next upcoming Monday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And any other matter, what do we do?
There is an offer available to the defendant to plead to an count two of operating while intoxicated, first offense, 93 misdemeanor, $100 to $500 fine, 6 points other various license sanctions, contrary to MCL 257-6251A as an alpha. In exchange for a plea to that, the originally charged count two operating with the presence of a Schedule 1 controlled substance would be dismissed.
So it's operating while intoxicated.
It is.
All right.
Your Honor, my client will be accepting that offer today.
And that's a no contest plea.
Please, the reason being lack of recollection.
Let's have him sworn.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? God.
Yes, sir.
State your name.
Frederick James Worden II.
All right, sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading no contest to a charge of operating while intoxicated. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. The court could also order any rehabilitative services or community service the court deems necessary. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The court could also order your vehicle immobilized, could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, sir.
All right, two things about it that you need to understand. First of all, it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Basis for the no contest plea.
Lack of recollection.
Sir, to that charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Any questions regarding any of those rights?
No, sir.
Please look at paragraph 5 on that form. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal upright.
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plea?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, sir.
and of your own free will.
Yes, sir.
Court has been provided Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 24-11525. Any objection to the court reviewing that report?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's sufficient factual basis on which the court to determine the defendant's guilt of the defense counsel. Have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
The people are satisfied.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to Von Schwartz for an alcohol screening and assessment. And the victim's impact panel. Sentencing in this matter will be
May 14th at 9 a.m.
May 14, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue with its conditions.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Court does call the case People versus Kyle Burmeister.
Absolutely for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Kyle Burmeister, who is approaching. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Kyle Burmeister.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yesterday I did go down to the jail to go visit with Mr. Burmeister, and unfortunately I was told he was not feeling well and I was unable to visit with him. He is being held on 2 felony matters that are up for probable cause conference tomorrow, Your Honor. I'd request an so I can have a discussion with my client.
May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case of the People versus Ashton Ebler.
Absolutely for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Ebler, who should be present via Zoom. Sir, can you please state your name for the record?
Ashton Ebler.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just during the docket this morning, Mr. Ebler did send me the documentation that I was hoping to get to resolve this case. I still do need to review that and provide it to the people. I would respectfully be requesting an adjournment.
May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Case People versus Jessica Fox.
Absolutely for the people. Good morning, this is the Public Defender Board of Ms. Fox.
I'm not sure if she's going to be there.
There she is. Ms. Fox, can you state your name, please?
Jessica Fox.
Your Honor, I have not had contact with Ms. Fox. I've called the number we have in our file. I'm not sure if it's a good number. I asked her to contact the public defender's office and she's since changed her number.
Did you hear that,
Okay.
ma'am?
Yeah, I've called a couple times.
The number I have for you is 9802, ends in those 4 digits.
No.
All right. During the matter, May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. On the 4/2 date of arraignment, court ordered the defendant was to provide proof of her sobriety to the public defender and then to the people because she was not placed on any sort of alcohol monitoring.
Correct.
She was sober for 4 years at that point. So I'm just following up on, it looks like they haven't had any communication. I'm requesting that that be addressed at the next hearing because we have not received anything I can show.
All right. So when they touch base, I'm sure that will have happened. All right. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Court does call the case People versus Christopher Minor.
Conrad still around behalf of Bristol Town.
International One for the People.
Good morning. This is Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Minor. Mr. Minor, please, you can stand right next to me. State your name for the record, please.
Christopher Charles Minor.
So, Your Honor, the last time we were here, we referred Mr. Minor to mental health treatment court. He was denied from participation. So we're kind of back to square one. I know he's being held on 2 cases up in the circuit court. His attorney there is trying to work something out. And that's, as Ms. Blondie said yesterday, kind of driving the bus here. So I'd ask for an adjournment of these hearings to see what happens on those cases as he hasn't been accepted.
Without objection. May 21st, 2020. 9 a.m. Thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Haley Force.
People.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Force, who should be present via Zoom. Ma'am, can you please unmute and state your name for the record?
Haley Force.
I found one.
Thank you, Your Honor. As to the case ending in 0028, I have discussed this matter with my client and she wishes to set the case for final settlement conference.
Which case?
0028.
What about the other matter?
The other matter, Your Honor, is a show cause. It is my understanding that there's a $50 balance as to the case.
50?
That is my understanding, Your Honor. I did not double check this morning, but I believe that balance is still owing.
$50. When is she going to pay that?
Ms. Force, how much time did you need to make that $50 payment? Ms. Force, can you hear us?
Ms. Force?
Yes.
Okay, that's her. All right. She probably dropped out. There's owing on one of these cases $50. Your counsel asked how long you're going to need to get that paid.
Just next week. I get paid next week.
And pay it by the 28th.
Okay.
Well, you get paid Friday of next week or what day?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yes.
Pay it by the 30th.
Okay.
On the other case, jury final settlement conference, June 6, 2025 at 9 a.m. Jury selection, if necessary, June 9, 2025 at 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bond continued.
Thank you, Ms. Force. You're all set for today.
Okay, thank you.
Court calls case People versus Daniel Sims.
Council on the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Sims, who is approaching. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Daniel Sims.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. This pretrial was last adjourned to receive the CCTV footage from the people. We have received that as of yesterday, but I do need to review it with Mr. Sims. I would request another adjournment so we can review it together.
See, in on anything else there?
Yes, Your Honor, several other matters.
Turn it to May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case of the People versus Marco Cipina Mororo.
Assistant, oh, sorry.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Tina Moreno, who gave me permission to accept the offer on his behalf.
Your Honor, I move to add count 2 of double parking. You accept that amendment.
And on behalf of your client, do you take responsibility to the fact that on the date of February 15, 2025, at Washington Avenue in Pittsfield Township, that he double parked a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept that admission. Count 2, count 1 is dismissed. Fines and cost of $180. When can you pay that?
As a matter of fact, he wanted to pay it yesterday, so I told him I would ask for the end of this week.
All right, pay it by this Friday, the 25th, right? 25th, 2025.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls case People versus Kenneth Neal.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Tennille. Can you state your name for the record?
Kenneth Tennille.
Your Honor, Mr. Tennille has 2 cases before you today. We have come to a resolution. He's going to be pleading on the disorderly person case ending in 0673 in exchange for dismissal of the other case.
That is correct.
I just need your signature here. This is in my friend's form. We went over yesterday. Oh, your problem. He's signing in a advice of rights form right now.
He's going to be pleading guilty or no contest.
No contest, if that's okay, Your Honor. I acknowledge that that was also submitted tardy. The reason being lack of recollection.
Having sworn.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Name.
Kenneth Tennille.
Sarah, this is court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to the charge of disorderly person. And it's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Still wish, well, you're going to be pleading no contest. Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, sir.
All right, 2 things about it I have to make sure you understand. First of all, it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty.
Yes, sir.
Still wish to plead basis for a no contest plea.
Lack of recollection.
So, sir, to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Do you want to plead no contest or guilty?
Guilty. No contest. Guilty.
Which one are you pleading?
No contest because you said that you didn't remember. That meant if you're guilty, you have to testify.
Okay, good. No contest, sir. I'm sorry.
You understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No, sir.
Look at paragraph 5. You'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of the trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal LBRAC.
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead no contest?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, sir.
and of your own free will.
Yes, sir.
Court has been provided Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 217170. Any objection to the court reviewing that report?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to the charge as contained in case ending in 673. Case ending in 674 is dismissed pursuant to the plea agreement. Anything you want to say before I impose sentence, sir?
No, sir.
How long have you been in custody?
About 50 days since March 11th.
You've been in since March 11th?
Yes, sir.
That's how it is. Probably that's 30 plus 44 days. Huh? You got 42, that's fine. Give you fines and costs of 125. I'll sentence you 40 days, Washtenaw County Jail, credit 40 served. And you're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, I saw a license plate last week. I was thinking of it. It said Turk.
Yeah, I tried to get that plate. I couldn't get it.
Oh,
So that person,
I saw some.
Well, it's local, so you might be able to negotiate for it. Transfer keys.
There was a big controversy last year about someone had like an MGO blue plate. The guy had it for 25 years. He let it last for like 2 days. Someone else swooped in and got it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's distraught.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Court does call the case of the People versus Shane Young. 2 cases.
Conrad Zora, on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Young. Mr. Young, please state your name.
Shane Allen Young, 31 of 83.
Sorry, go ahead.
Your Honor, I'm moving to dismiss both cases. Mr. Queenie has provided me with some documentation regarding the program that Mr. Young is involved in. Based on that information, I'm moving to dismiss both cases.
Any objection to that?
No objection.
All right. Sir?
No, sir.
Well, I knew,
Sorry.
I knew you would, but okay, no, you're good.
I'm sorry.
All right. Both these cases are dismissed. I don't think you have anything else before me, do you, Mr.?
No, I do not.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You came out in a wheelchair, and you certainly did not have to stand. And I think I told you that the first time.
Several times.
Every time you came out. And I appreciate you showing the court that respect.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
I will try my best.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It's in custody. Oh. This one?
Yes.
The court does call the case of the People versus Stephen Grisby.
Conrad Zora, on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Your name?
Stephen Griswold.
All right. Because of that, you're also giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
December 10th, 2024, at the location of the BP gas station located at 4975 Washington Avenue, were you present at that gas station?
Yes, and I did not leave when told to.
And they asked you to leave and then you did not leave? Is that correct, sir?
Yes, I was just trying to purchase some cigarettes and pop and things.
But they had asked you to leave and you did not leave the premises. Is that correct?
Yes.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to this charge. Anything either of you want to say before I do impose sentence?
Your Honor, I will say on behalf of Mr. Moore, he does have 17 days credit. He's also saying that Avalon is engaged in CMH services. His matters in 15th District have been resolved. So he's just hoping to get back to his services, mental health services.
State minimums of $125, 17 days, Washtenaw County Jail, credit 17, sir. And the other matters ending in 1420 and 1065, those matters are dismissed as part of the plea agreement. I didn't say so. All right. Thank you.
Your Honor, am I free to go?
What?
Am I free from custody?
You're not going to be held on the cases I have. I don't know what else you have.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.
We're going to take a brief recess, come back. We're running a little bit behind, but I'll start my 11 o'clock. They'll get me set up and we'll start rolling on that. Court's in recess.
All rise. In the District Court of the County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. The Honorable Judge Cedric Simpson presides.
You may be seated. Court does call the case of People versus Christopher Holt.
Special Lobby for the People.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Holt. Mr. Holt, please state your name for the record.
Christopher Holt.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Your Honor, Mr. Holt and I have not had contact prior to today. He said he's been up north without service. There has been an offer made. I'm requesting an adjournment so I can relay that to him and speak further about his options.
Matters adjourned May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Bond continued. Thank you, Mr. Holt.
Thank you, sir.
Court calls case People versus Destin Hopkins.
Special Lobby for the People.
Sorry. Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Mr. Hopkins, who is present via Zoom. Sir, can you please state your name for the record?
Destin Hopkins.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ultimately, I'm respectfully requesting an adjournment. Mr. Hopkins does have a pending BOP in circuit court, which he just texted me a brief update about this morning that I do need to have a longer conversation with him about. I'm asking if the court would consider an adjournment into possibly early June. If not, late May would also work, I believe. I would be able to get the information needed by that time.
May 21st, 2025.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court does call the case People versus Jared Roberson.
Special Lobby for the People.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Robertson, who should also be present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the record if you're there?
Jared Roberson.
You should dial in.
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Robertson is trying to get his license valid. He states to me that he is eligible in June. We're asking for an adjournment sometime into June if possible.
Correction.
No, this isn't a
not-
license case.
Registration. Sorry.
He's trying to get the registration.
Did I say license? I apologize, Your Honor.
So you want an adjournment too?
Yes.
I'll adjourn the matter to June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thanks, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Robertson.
Thank you.
And thank you for that. I'm sorry.
Court calls the case, People versus Derek Simpson, no relation.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Simpson. Not sure if he's on Zoom, Your Honor. I did provide him with the link, but.
Derek Simpson. The Simpsons can't follow rules.
Sure, I have no explanation for his failure to appear. For the record, I've got.
Already got a warrant, Your Honor, in another case.
In another case?
Middle name Allen, correct, Your Honor?
Yes.
24 F5 5214. He appears by warrant for receiving his stolen property felony.
Bench warrant in this case will issue. Bond is set in the amount of $7,500. I'll give a 10% privilege on this. This warrant will issue immediately.
That's like a misdemeanor, but it still has a warrant.
Got it. Court calls the case People versus Alicia Stewart.
Hi.
iPhone 2.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Stewart, who should be present via Zoom and or dial-in. Ma'am,
Ms. Stewart,
Yes.
I'll need you to turn the camera on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just
All right,
sick
what are we-
this morning.
Okay, it's okay. We'll get through this. All right, what are we doing?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Stewart has a Secretary of State administrative hearing date set for May 1st. We're respectfully requesting an adjournment past that date.
All right. May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. Okay, Ms. Stewart?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Be well.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Your Honor. Thank you, ma'am.
Court calls the case People versus Kevin Stickler.
Absolutely.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Stichler, who should be present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Kevin Stichler.
Not available to the defendant in this case to plead guilty or no contest to count 2 of retail fraud in the 3rd degree. 93 misdemeanor, $500 fine or trouble amount contrary to Tax Code 750356D as in dog 4, with the dismissal of count 1 retail fraud in the 2nd degree, the 1-year misdemeanor.
And I have discussed that with my client, Your Honor, and he does wish to accept that offer today, pleading no contest to the added count 2.
Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name again for the record.
Kevin Stichler.
All right, you can put your hand down. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead no contest to the charge retail fraud in the 3rd degree. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. Fine could be increased to 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $500, that would become the maximum fine. Do you understand that, sir?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes.
2 things about it. I have to make sure you understand it. First of all, means that you're not desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Basis of the no contest plea.
Potential civil liability, Your Honor.
Sir, to the charge of retail fraud 3rd degree, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Correct.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that, sir?
I do, Your Honor, yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal upright.
Yes,
Are you on probation or parole?
I am on probation.
Are you on probation at the time of this offense, sir?
No,
All right. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plea?
no,
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you?
no,
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
I am, Your Honor.
All right. Court has been provided Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case 21-13877. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court?
You are satisfied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter will be May 14th.
Yes.
May 14th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue. Sir, I'll have you wait on the line. We're going to put you in with our probation intake so we can get the sentencing process started, okay?
Yes, thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Daniel.
Okay, all right. They're not right there, sir. However, I think they took a brief lunch break. If you do want to stay on the line, otherwise you'll have to call down. But if you do want to stay on the line, the moment they get back, we'll put you in.
Do you want me to? Natalie said she'd text me the number. If that's okay, I can call.
That's fine too, also, sir.
Okay, I will do that. I got to go to work anyway, but I'll call as soon as I can.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it very much.
All right. Court does call the case, People versus Jada Taylor.
After belonging to the people.
Good afternoon, Mr. Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Ms. Taylor. You should be on Zoom. Ms. Taylor, please state your name for the record.
Hi, Jada Taylor. I'll turn on my camera.
All right. Thank you.
We're asking for an adjournment. There's some video that we're working out with the prosecutor's office.
All right. Adjourn this May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continue. All right. Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
Yep, thank you. Bye-bye. You have a nice day.
You do the same. Court calls the case, People versus Jason Williams.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, please state your name for the record.
Jason Williams.
Your Honor, we're here for a pre-trial. There's also a pending bond violation.
There is.
I have spoken about the violation with my client. I believe today he's going to admit to the violation, and he would like to make a statement on his own behalf.
Yeah, so that being said is I admit to the violation, and I know I wasn't supposed to have alcohol in my system. No excuse, but the last few weeks, sir, I had so much going on in my life, money issues, the car issues, whatnot, family issues, and no, there's no excuse because you said what you said, and I wasn't trying to get in trouble or anything, and I've still been going to my program, and that's still been helping me. So going to my program weekly by weekly and dropping with them and whatnot, and just still trying to grow as an individual and whatnot. So that's all I have to really say right now, sir.
If I may, Your Honor, add to that. So Mr. Williams is attending substance abuse treatment in Detroit. I believe it's called Community Care First.
Yes.
He goes there weekly, for group therapy and is also attending AA meetings.
Do I have any documentation regarding any of that?
I believe I have provided to Ms. Londy. I'm happy to give it to the court. He gave me his schedule and,
But,
his
yeah, but how
enrollment.
do I know that he's actually going to that?
Is that what?
I have his enrollment paperwork. I'm happy to get an updated progress report from that program and get that to the court.
And we sign in every week, so.
Every
We
week.
sign in every week. And I think you said, I start also. Talk down.
How long has he been doing that?
I've been doing this, going on, 3 months. Oh, well, it's January, February, March. Almost going on 3 months.
Nothing, well, I was gonna say nothing, but I did want the court to know he is fully employed at U-Haul. He works full-time there. He is hoping to stay out of custody, and continue working, continue going to his treatment program, and just, get things back under control.
Yes. I'm sorry, oh.
Ms. Lundy.
In anticipation of the court accepting the admission to the bond violation, people would request enough change in bond conditions. First and foremost, there was a prior bond violation in March that the court accepted the admission to allow the defendant to continue testing with where he's testing now. Unfortunately, this is an OWI case, and it does have a prior from 2012, and now this is the second time that we've got an alcohol violation. So I am requesting that he be placed on a scram tether. I do believe that community safety and the public safety risk of having this person not be on 24-hour testing supervision is too great to ignore at this time. So I am requesting the court order that and have him placed on the scram tether.
My problem is that and this is why I don't like to do it this way. I gave you a chance, Mr. Allen. I gave you a chance with the last violation.
What? Just for me to speak, I wasn't informed that, about so I didn't know anything about the last violation. Like, this would have all been like, this wouldn't happen again. It wouldn't never happen again. Like it wouldn't never happen again. Like I say, I'm still just I'm working on it, sir. I definitely apologize. I'm just hoping like you could please work with me just one more chance, and you won't hear about it.
Here's the thing. I don't mind giving people chances, but I gave you an opportunity to test in Novi with results to community correction. I did that back, I think it looks like on March 5th. And I get these negative tests. Well, first of all, there were like numerous miss samples.
No, sorry.
I'm going by their report.
Okay.
Then I get negative results. Then on March 27th, that's when the ETG comes through. I get a positive alcohol result. Here's part of my problem. I don't know how much you're drinking. And so that comes through, you've been drinking. And then on the second, we get a negative result from your ETG.
Right.
Then by the 9th, you're drinking again.
And the second. And that's like.
What?
I'm just up here thinking, sir. Like, second, like, knife should have came back negative also.
It came back negative.
Yeah, negative on the second.
On the second, it's negative, because
Right,
it's only
and
gonna pick it up for whatever period in time, but then by the 9th, you're drinking again. Or sometime shortly before that, or before that, you're drinking again. And I don't have any reason to doubt anything, but I don't know what treatment you're in. I don't have that in front of me, first of all, right now. I understand why I may not. But also, I don't even understand, or nor can I trust what you're indicating is your participation with it.
So, like at the meetings, sir, there are 2-hour meetings every week. Like they're NAA, talk to a counselor and whatnot. And like once again.
Did you tell the counselor you're drinking?
He said, well, did I tell the counselor I'm drinking? No, I'm not drinking.
Pardon?
I'm not drinking. Like, I'm confused right now. Usually that's
pardon?
Did you tell your counselor that you had the positive?
Oh, no, because
I
just got informed. I just got informed on Monday, so I was going to tell him this.
Well, hold it. Whether you got informed or not, you knew you were drinking.
No, I just got informed on Monday that I violated. That's what I'm telling you on Monday.
Okay, listen real close to what I'm saying. Whether you were violated or not, right?
Right.
You knew you were drinking. And so my question is, you knowing that, did you tell your counselor you were drinking?
No, I haven't spoke with her yet. I was going to speak with her on Friday about that and tell her, like,
I thought you went every week.
I go every week.
Okay.
Every week.
So today is the 23rd, right?
Right.
No, just listen to me.
Okay.
Today's the 23rd, which means presumably from the time of the results, you had at least 2 of those meetings. And you haven't told your counselor that you were drinking. That's from the last instance.
All right. Last week, sir, we was off due to Easter on Friday. So
Here's the problem, young man. You're going to have to get your addiction under control. You got an excuse for everything. If you didn't get caught, you would say nothing, either to your treatment, certainly not to the court, it seems to me. And then you would go about continuing to drink. I'll adjourn the matter to May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. At this point, given his violation, his admission to the violation, defendant's bond is hereby ordered revoked. I will reconsider giving him a bond and maybe releasing him with certain conditions once I see the information or the progress report.
I was going to ask, Your Honor, do you think that we could get him assessed by the jail and see if there's any treatment programs that this county can offer him, maybe a higher level of treatment than he's already engaged in?
Well, I don't know what he's engaged in. I mean, I can't, because what he's telling me doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, I'll get that to the court and whatever other information I can obtain.
All right. Thank you. Court does call the case, People versus Lamar Hampton. Lamar Hampton, you're not checked in. It's a bench warrant when he sent it for. She warranted him, so I'll just warrant him again. Must have been set aside, I would imagine. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Kalea Williams. Kalea Williams, not checked in. Issue an order to show cause on this. Court calls case People versus Shamia Foster.
Echelon of good people.
She has another warrant. City. I don't see her here. She already has an outstanding warrant. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. In this case, bond is set amount of $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Trayvon G.
Echelon of good people.
Trayvon G. Not here. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 5,000, 10% privilege on it. Warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case of the People versus Kalea Green.
Echelon of good people.
Kalea Green. No response. You have a show.
Yes, so failing to respond to this speaker.
Got it. Well, this is set version.
Yes, it is.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. On 5,000, 10%. Warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Anton James.
Echelon of people. She'll cross.
Anton James. They have not checked in. Bench warrant. Issue bond will be set in amount of 5,000. Give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Quincy Jones.
People.
Quincy Jones. There is also another warrant. This individual has another warrant. Oh, out of this court. On DWLS. Surprise. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond set in the amount of 5,000. Give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case of the People versus Sean Kennedy.
Echelon of good people.
Sean Kennedy. No response. Bench warrant. 5,000. Give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Torrance Wood. Torrance Woods. No response. Bench warrant. Bond 5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case of the People versus Yusuf Jama.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Yama, who is present via Zoom. Sir, can you please state your name for the record?
Yes, Yusuf Jama.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was unsuccessful in reaching Mr. Yama prior to today's court date, so I would be requesting from the court an adjournment. And also, Mr. Yama, please give me a call back whenever you can get the chance as soon as possible, please, sir. Thank you.
All right, yes, ma'am. Sorry, I got a new phone.
Turn it
But I'll
up
be
just-
calling the prosecutor.
Turn it up just one last time. I'll adjourn the matter May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You. Court calls case People versus Ellie Bankhead.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Bankhead, who is present via Zoom. Can you please state your name for the record, ma'am?
My name is Elle Bankhead.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did discuss this matter with the township, and I believe they were going to be dismissing this case.
That's correct, Your Honor. I'm moving to dismiss.
You don't have a problem with that, Ms. Bankhead, do you?
Absolutely not.
All right. Case is dismissed. You take care. Have a great day.
Thank you as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ms. Bankhead.
Court calls the case, People versus Del Marcel Bass.
Conrad Silverman, Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Bass. Mr. Bass, can you please state your name for the record?
Del Marcel Bass.
Your Honor, Mr. Bass is going to plead to 257.326. I do not have a signed advice of rights form for him. I can get that signed and submit to the court after the hearing if you'd like that. I did review it with him.
Is that the?
Yes, Your Honor. Bad count 2 of MCL 257.326.
All right. Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
State your name again for the record.
Del Marcel Bass.
Sir, it is this court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $100 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Still understanding that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
I'm on probation.
All right. Were you on probation at the time of this offense in July of 24?
I believe so. I can't. I want to say yes.
Okay. If you were on that probation at that time, you understand that your plea in this case could be a violation of that probation.
Yes, and I talked to my probation officer.
Okay. All right, but I have to advise you of this, that if the court does consider this a violation of that probation, you could be sentenced to the maximum allowable under that other charge. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
Understanding that, you still wish to plead to this charge?
Yes.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes.
And because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes.
On September 24, July 9th, 2024, at the location of Washington near Gulf site in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, state of Michigan, did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Did you allow someone who was otherwise ineligible to operate that motor vehicle that may have indeed been yourself?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, have I complied with the court?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Sir, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
I apologize for driving. I'm actually trying to work on getting my license back through Secretary of State, which I have to have a hearing and all of that, which means I got to go through all the paperwork before I can get a hearing set.
Got it. Okay. Fines and costs of $250. I'll suspend 90 days in jail. When do you think you can get this paid?
Can I get at least a month?
I guess so. Pay it by May 31st, 2025.
Yes,
okay?
Sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Don't forget about that.
Oh, I won't.
All right.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Audrey Beatty.
Conrad Soda on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Hello,
Hi,
what's your name?
Audrey Janine Beatty.
Is she here? She did pre-trial? Had pre-trial on both, but. Oh, these from, okay. All right. You know why you're here?
Yes.
The charges? Okay, you had been arraigned on this, but you didn't have, and it was some time ago.
Yes.
18, so you're not represented by an attorney.
May I? Is it okay to speak?
Pardon?
May I have an attorney? May I have an attorney, Your Honor?
So she raised her, I don't know why she was raising her hand at me. I thought she was, I thought she was gonna give me the hand like, be quiet. Look, that's what I thought.
You
was
got it.
happening. And I'm like, what?
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right.
I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
Yes.
Me too. She said that wasn't funny. No reason. Yes, ma'am. What I actually was going to ask you before you said something is, do you want to be represented by an attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. These are public defender cases.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Miss Beatty. We were able to speak prior to the hearing being called. I think we're going to be able to figure this out. We're just asking for a brief adjournment. Miss Beatty is going to go to Secretary of State pretty soon here.
Yes.
Okay. Is she knows what she has to do, or?
Yes, she paid the reinstatement fee yesterday. I think she just has to apply for a new license.
Okay.
She's been paying off her tickets, taking care of old cases, and she's been working
trying to get it done, but
yeah.
All right. So I'll indicate this is now a PD case. I'll adjourn this out to May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m.
Okay. 9 a.m.
Well, I set it at 9 a.m. Make sure you're in contact with your attorneys. They'll send you the actual time block that you're on that day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are you less nervous now?
I'm still nervous. I'm still gonna be nervous.
Okay, you got good attorneys, so now you can relax a little bit.
Okay.
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 All right, you take care.
You too. Thank you.
So I'll be in touch with you before the 21st.
Okay. No problem.
All right. I drive safe.
Court calls case, People versus James Church.
Conrad Soda on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Oh, good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Church. Your Honor, Mr. Church has given me permission to admit responsibility for double parking on his behalf.
Your Honor, move to add count 2 double parking. If you accept that admission, dismiss the original charge.
On behalf of your client, you admit responsibility to the fact that on January 8, 2025, Michigan Avenue, Pittsfield Township, that he double parked a motor vehicle.
I do.
All right, court will accept that admission. Count 1 is dismissed. Fines and cost of $180. When can that be paid?
Asking for 4 weeks.
Pay it by May 30th. 2025. Court does call the case of the People versus Jashawn Clifton.
Conrad Soda on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Clifton.
Your Honor, we worked out an agreement. Defendant has made restitution in this matter, so I'm moving to dismiss.
No objection.
No objection.
Case is just, is he present? Mr. Clifton?
Yeah, yes, I'm here.
Okay. You have any problem with them dismissing this?
No, sir.
I didn't think you would. Okay. Case is dismissed. You have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well.
Calls the case of the people versus Quintez Harris.
So on behalf of this township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Harris. Is on Zoom.
Hope springs eternal, but no.
Well, I don't have an explanation for failure to appear. I would ask for an adjournment for the record.
Bench warrant will issue bond 5,000. 10%, that warrant will issue immediately. Court does call the case of the people versus Bruce Hesterly.
On behalf of this township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Penny on behalf of Mr. Hesterly. We have come to a resolution that involves both cases. He's ending in 1582. He has given me permission to admit to double parking on his behalf, and in exchange, the interference case would be dismissed, which is the case ending in 1581.
That is correct, Your Honor. So I move that count to double parking in 1582. If you accept the admission, I will dismiss the original charge as well as case 1581.
And on behalf of your client, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on December 6, 2024, location of Carpenter Road, Pittsfield Township, that they double parked a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed, as well as the case ending in 1581 is also dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. When can that be paid?
I think he requested 2 weeks, Your Honor.
May 16th, 2025. Let's call the case people versus Neil Hines.
And so on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Hines. Mr. Hines, please state your name for the record.
Neil Hines.
Thank you, sir. What are we doing?
We're ultimately requesting adjournment again. The court may remember Mr. Hines has been waiting to get his birth certificate. He even paid for like express shipping, and he still hasn't received it. And
From where?
I guess the state.
California?
I got it yesterday. I got it yesterday. My appointment's on Monday at 12:10.
Okay.
Oh, good. Okay.
So he at least has it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we just do this, because he's got to do something with that. June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Sure.
All right. Thank you. It does call the case, people versus Chelsea Hogan.
And so on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Hogan, who should be present via Zoom.
I have a Motorola. Chelsea Hogan. There is. Well, there's somebody who's a Motorola Moto.
That's me, sir. I'm Daniel Noggle.
You got it? Yeah. Okay. So Ms. Hogan is not here.
So, Your Honor, I do not have an explanation for her failure to appear. I did speak with her, and we did have a resolution in place in which she was going to be accepting the offer by the people, or by the township, which was for a civil infraction. She did state she would be here today via Zoom. I would request an adjournment then, for the record.
Bench warrant 5,000, 10%. Warrant will issue immediately.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case, people versus Carolyn Hoskins.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Ms. Hoskins, who I do not believe is present, Your Honor. She did text me during the docket this morning stating that she was in the hospital and had pancreatitis. That is my explanation for her failure to appear. For the record, I would request an adjournment. or if the court would consider issuing the warrant in a few days so I can try to get documentation from her.
Bench warrant will issue bond 5,000, 10%. Warrant will issue this Friday, the 25th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's called the case People versus Maurice Keeley. Or Keeley.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Keehee. Ms. Keehee, please state your name. I'm requesting an adjournment. This case was just arraigned, I think, last week. I have not received, well, when I checked yesterday, I hadn't received the police report. So I just.
June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. Where's your invited to case? Thank you, Mr. Key. Court calls case People versus Terrence Leonard.
On behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate on behalf of Mr. Leonard, who gave me permission to accept the offer on his behalf.
Your Honor, I move to add count 2 of double parking, accepted admission, and dismiss the original charge.
Do you admit on behalf of your client to the fact that on February 21st, 2025, at Carpenter Road in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, that they double parked a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. When can they get that paid?
He's asking for 2 months, Your Honor.
May 30th, 2025.
Thank you.
Court calls case People versus Juan Mercado.
On behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Mercado. Mr. Mercado has also given me permission to admit to double park on his behalf.
Your Honor, I move to add count 2 double parking, if you accept that admission, and to dismiss the original charge.
And on behalf of your client, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on July 9th, 2021, location of State Street, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that they double parked motor vehicle?
Yes.
Court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. When can they get that paid?
I think you can pay it this week. I guess for next Friday, just in case.
Pay it by May 9th, 2025. Court calls case of the People versus Demarius Munoz.
On behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate with and on behalf of Demarius Munoz, who should be present via Zoom.
Mr. Munoz?
1 second.
Okay, yeah, we'll wait. All right.
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah.
Yes, hello.
Can you please state
Hello?
your name for the record?
State your name.
Damaris Moran Munoz.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. So unfortunately, Mrs. Munoz's brother did call our office downtown this morning, so I do now have good contact information for her. I was not able to have a good or any conversation with her prior to today. I'd request an adjournment.
All right. Manuel, adjourn your matter out to May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Court calls case People versus Christina Evans.
On behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Evans in the case ending in 0387.
All right. The other one's set for arraignment. All right. Ms. Evans, can you unmute for me?
Yes,
All right. State your name.
Christina Evans.
All right, Miss Evans. On one of your cases, you're before the court on a misdemeanor citation that alleges that on or about December 11, 2024, the location of Gulfside Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you drove while being unlicensed or obtaining a license within the last 3 years. You understand that charge, ma'am?
Yes.
That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. First question I have for you is, do you want to be represented by an attorney?
Yes.
Okay, this is a public defender case.
The public defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Ms. Evans, we waive any further reading standing to the charges. And Your Honor, I'm asking for an adjournment of both pretrials.
All right. Then, defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. I'll adjourn both of these cases to June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. In the new case, the 1609, I'll set her bond at a $5,000 personal recognizance bond. All right, with standard conditions, including no assault behavior or possession of any weapons. All right. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I said June 4th, right?
Yes.
Court does call the case of the People versus Chad Jones.
Henry Silver.
Arraignment pretrial. Chad Jones, not here. I'll issue an order to show cause. All right. The next block is not until 1. All right. Court is standing in recess.
The District Court for County of Washtenaw, State of Michigan is now back in session.
You may be seated. Court does call the case of the People versus Daniel Noggle.
Henry Silver on behalf of the township.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. Brendan Bolsky appearing on behalf of Daniel Noggle. Mr. Noggle, please state your name for the record, sir.
Daniel Noggle.
You got a camera? Thank you. All right.
Got me now.
State your name for the record, sir.
Daniel Noggle.
Okay. All
Your
right,
Honor,
this is arraignment, and go ahead.
I was going to say today's date and time set for an arraignment and also a pretrial. As to the arraignment, waive formal reading and stand mute.
And in every way, formal reading, standing mute. Court will enter a not guilty plea.
Thank you.
All right.
As it relates to the pretrial, Your Honor, Mr. Siller had sent me the discovery, and I received a link yesterday for the digital discovery. I haven't been able to review that yet, so we're just going to ask for an adjournment for me to review the discovery.
The next available date is May 21st.
Okay.
So I'll adjourn the matter to May 21st, 2025. 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates, as to bond.
Your Honor, Mr. Noggle is 45 years old. He resides in Clinton, Michigan. He's gainfully employed at R&R Vehicle Sales. He's been there for over 3 years. He has no prior criminal history. He spent 1 day in jail on this. Right after he got charged, he retained counsel, and he voluntarily appeared for today's court date. I would ask for a personal bond.
Blood draw, Your Honor.
Yes.
121.
121.
No crash. Traffic stop for failing to maintain lane integrity. No cars.
All right. Defendant's bond is set at a $15,000 personal recognizance bond. I'll order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or any possession of weapons or ammunition. You understand that, sir?
I believe I understand it.
What do you not understand?
Do I have to pay a bond or?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can make it so you do, but
I just don't understand, sir.
All right. Well, no, I'm releasing you on a $15,000 personal recognizance with standard conditions, no assaultive behavior or possession of weapons and ammunition. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
There's to be no possession of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs.
Okay.
All right? And I'll leave it there. I'm not going to put a testing at this time.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Let's call the case, People versus Jalen Powell.
Senator Siller on behalf of.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Powell. Mr. Powell, please state your name for the record.
Jalen Poe.
There he is. Okay, got it. Okay, what are we doing?
Your Honor, I haven't had contact with Mr. Powell. I would ask him to provide us with an update with his license if he can.
Our last report as of the 17th, he's still suspended.
Well, given that, Your Honor, I asked for an adjournment on Mr. Powell's behalf so he can try to get his license valid.
Are you still working on that, sir?
Yes, I'm currently working. I'm now employed, and I couldn't text her back because my other phone is broke. So I wish I could let her know what's going on, but I can definitely make a payment within this week, Friday.
All right, I'll let you guys figure it out. June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. Fine, continue. Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus India Robinson.
Senator Siller on behalf of.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Robinson, who should be present via Zoom.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Or afternoon.
All right, state your name.
India Robinson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution in this matter to which my client will be accepting the offer extended of pleading to added count 2 of allowing an ineligible person to drive, and in exchange, count 1 will be dismissed.
That's correct, Your Honor. So I move to add MCL 257.326. You accept that guilty plea and move to dismiss the original charge.
Ma'am, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
State your name again for the record, please.
India Robinson.
All right, ma'am, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $100 fine plus court cost. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Understanding that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
And also because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes, sir.
On the date of March 18, 2024, at the location of Lower Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, state of Michigan, did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Did you allow someone who was otherwise ineligible, inclusive of yourself, to operate that motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
All right, counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Ma'am, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
No, sir.
Fines and costs of $250. I'll suspend 90 days in jail. When can you get that paid, ma'am?
I actually spoke to my attorney and asked if it was an alternative for us.
Yes, Ms. Robinson did ask me, Your Honor, to make a request that if she would be allowed to do community service. I did advise her that typically this court orders the fine, but I'm asking if the court would consider allowing her to do possibly even 40 hours of community service instead of the $250 fine. But we do understand that would be imposed and would ask for 2 to 3 months for her to pay it if that is what the sentence of the court would be.
Court is going to order the $250. I'll order at this time that be paid by May 31st or May 30th, 2025.
Thank you.
90 days in jail is suspended. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Court calls the case, People versus James Shaw. The floor.
Good afternoon, Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Shaw. Your Honor, Mr. Shaw has given me permission to admit to double parking on his.
Your Honor, I move the account to double parking. If you accept the admission, dismiss the original charge.
On behalf of your client, you met responsibility to the fact that on June 20th, 2023, at the location of Ellsworth Road, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that he double parked a motor vehicle.
Yes.
Court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. When can that be paid?
I would ask for 4 weeks, Your Honor.
May 30th, 2025. Court calls the case People versus Kerry Vickerson.
Honor, it's on behalf of the township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Vickerson. It should be on Zoom, Your Honor.
Yes, I am.
You got him.
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, we are asking for an adjournment of this case. Mr. Vickerson has a ticket out in 14B that's suspended. I did send him that information and he's working on getting that resolved.
Adjourn it June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. Or as you're invited to case. All right, thank you, Mr. Vickerson.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Court does call the cases of the People versus Juwan Wilson.
Honor, it's on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
All four
cases.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Wilson. Please state your name.
Wilson.
Here we have a resolution that involves all 4 cases. Do you want to put on the record?
I will, Your Honor. In case 0893.
Okay.
I'm going to plead guilty. It's approved for the text.
Deferred. Okay.
In case 0570. I have count 2 of double parking.
0570.
Parking. You accept the admission and dismiss original charge. In addition, the 2 remaining cases will also be dismissed. 0569 and 2479.
And that is our understanding of the agreement.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name.
Juwan Wilson. All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading guilty to the charge of retail fraud under the Pittsfield Township ordinance. Is that correct? Yes. Now, that's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $500 fine plus court cost. Do you understand that? Yes. All right. Understanding that, you still wish to plead guilty? Yes. And to that charge, how do you plead? Guilty. Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you will not have a trial of any kind? Yes. You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct? Yes. Any question regarding any of those rights? No, sir. Please look at paragraph 5 on that form. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form. Yes. You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right? Yes. Are you on probation or parole? No. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead? No. Anybody threaten you or coerce you? No. You're doing this voluntarily? Yes, sir. Of your own free will? Yeah. And because you believe that you're indeed guilty of this offense? Yes. On the date of April 19th, 2019, location of 7,000 East Michigan Avenue, that being the Walmart store, what'd you do? Put items in my cart, walked out without paying. Okay, you just tried to walk directly out without paying?
I mean, I paid for some of them, but I didn't pay for all of them.
Okay, tell me what you did. You put stuff in your car.
Yeah.
You went through, was it self-checkout?
Self-checkout, yeah.
And
I didn't pay
what,
for
you
everything.
scanned some items, didn't scan others, and then tried to, so you skip scan.
Yeah, I skipped scan.
And you tried to walk out without paying?
Yep.
Store was open to the public at the time?
Yes, sir.
You didn't have anybody's permission to do that, did you?
No.
And these items you didn't pay for and tried to walk out, these were items that were offered for sale by Walmart?
Yes.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Judge.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to that charge. In that case, and that being 0893. In the other case being 0570, sir. On the date of March 25th, 2019, location of southbound State Street, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. Do you admit responsibility to double park your motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
All right, court will accept that admission in that case. Cases ending in 569 and 2478, those are dismissed.
2479, Your Honor.
24, what did I say, 8? Okay, 2479.
Thank you.
All right, so on the double parking, fines and costs of $180, when could you get that paid?
I could pay half of it today.
You can pay 90 today?
Yeah.
He's got 100. He doesn't want to give me the other 10. I'm just saying. No, don't say nothing. Just, all right, so you're gonna pay 90 today, then when can you pay the balance?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Pay it by May, then I'll just indicate balance by May 16th.
Okay.
Okay. On that one, that'll take care of that case. Then on this case, is there restitution issues involved in this? No, but he's deferred, so we're trying to get the deferred on it. So defendant is referred on that case to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report and consideration of deferred sentencing. Sentence in this matter will be May 14th? May 14th, 2025, 9 a.m. or as you're invited to on continue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court does call the case as People versus James Raggett.
Conrad Silver on behalf of the township.
On arraignment. Your name, sir?
James Patrick Raggett III.
All right. Mr. Raggett, you are before the court on a misdemeanor complaint that alleges that on or about January 5th, 2025 at the location of Carpenter Road, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you did operate a motor vehicle with a high blood alcohol content. You understand that charge, sir?
Yes.
That is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 180 days incarceration, a $200 to $700 fine plus court costs. The court could order rehabilitative services or any community service the court deems necessary. The court could order your vehicle immobilized, could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. My first question for you, sir, is do you wish to be represented by an attorney? Seriously?
Yes, sir.
So you heard me, you heard through that?
Yes.
You do wish to be represented by the attorney. It's the public defender.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Raggett.
Yes.
Is that correct? We waive any further reading standing to the charges and ask for another pretrial date, Your Honor.
And then having waived formal reading, further formal reading, standing mute, court will enter not guilty plea on his behalf. I'll adjourn the pretrial in this matter to May 21st, 2025, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. As to bond.
Your Honor, the blood alcohol content was very elevated in this case, 0.317.
0.317?
Correct. Had to do with the operation of the vehicle at the movie theater on Carpenter Road, Cinemark.
Got it.
This child was present at the theater, but not in the vehicle.
Got it.
I'd request a personal bond and standard conditions. Is the court inclined to give him a scram tether, or
I am inclined.
he says he does have a scram tether? He's on probation out of what?
Black, out of Washtenaw County.
Black.
Black. That's circuit
Who's the
court.
judge?
Perry.
Oh, on 15th District Court.
Yes.
It says he's on probation in front of Judge Perry. For
That was
in their
destruction of property.
Sobriety court?
No, I'm currently enrolled in Accountable Choices, as well as the Accountable Choices program as a result of the original sentence. And I'm currently on a scram tether that was a result of the incident January 5th.
It's not a drunk driving case. It's a MDO.
Yeah, it was related to
building.
Yeah.
So you're on the scram as a result of what?
Violation of probation, because I'm on probation and they were notified of the case.
Of this case?
Yes.
So they put you on a scram tether?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Did they say how long?
No, I have to go back June 19th.
Still gonna need an order, I think. All right. So I'm gonna set was there anything else on that, Mr.? So
Nothing else, Your Honor.
I'm gonna set his bond at a $35,000 personal recognizance bond at this time. I'm gonna order standard conditions, including no assault behavior or possession of any weapons or ammunition. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no use of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I gave you a drug test, would you pass?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna have urine test one time random per month in this case. I'm gonna also order a scram tether after 15th District Court tether ceases. So, sir, what I'm indicating is that if you come off of the current scram that you're on, you have to get a new scram.
Yes.
For this case.
I understand.
All right. 21st.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court does call the case People versus Todd Reberg.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
An arraignment. Todd Reberg. No response. I'll issue an order to show cause. Court calls the case of the People versus Amy Schaffler.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Schaffler. No response. I'll issue an order to show cause. Mallory Teifel. Teifel.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
I'll issue an order to show cause. Christopher Akron.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
This is an arraignment.
This is a show cause.
To show cause. For failure to appear.
Yes.
Okay. Your name, sir? Christopher Akron. Sir, you are before the court on a charge that alleges that on or about April 28, 2024, at the location of Platte Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you operated an unregistered motor vehicle.
Yes,
You
sir.
understand that? That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days and a $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. First question I have for you, sir, is do you want to be represented by an attorney?
Yes.
Pardon?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is public defender.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Mr. Eckler, we would waive any formal reading, stand mute, and ask for an adjourned pretrial date, please.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to, I'm going to go June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. I'm going to set his bond at a $5,000 personal recognizance bond when under standard conditions, including no assault behavior or possession of any weapons. You understand that, sir? Sir. I'm going to order no alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. All right. We'll see you then. Thank you. Court does call the cases of the people versus Stephen Daniels.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
These are show causes. They are. Stephen Daniels. No response. Bench warrants. Bench warrants will issue for defendant's failure to appear in each of these cases. Bond $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on it. Those warrants will issue immediately. Court does call the case of the people versus Vincent Lambert.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Vincent Lambert. No response. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond $5,000. Give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately.
We've got a second case, the same charge coming soon.
Coming soon. Got it. Well, maybe we'll get him in here on one of those. Huh? Court does call the case of the people versus the Laird person.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Laird person. This is a show cause you have?
Yeah.
Oh, on the failure to pay. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond $3,500, 10%. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls the case of people versus Trey Roberson.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Trey Roberson. No response. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of $3,500. I'll give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately.